Welcome to Friday Flip on the Becoming You Again podcast. Every Friday, I take your divorce problems, conundrums, and questions and do a quick flip around to empower you to show up as the best you after divorce.
This week, I'm helping Becky with her question. She asks, how do you get past deep, bitter feelings toward an ex who cheated and the woman he cheated with? They're out living their happy ever after. I try to move past it, but I find myself always thinking about it and feeling so angry and disgusted with both of them. How do I make these thoughts stop? Becky, thanks so much for your question. I think this one probably resonates with a lot of women who have been cheated on by their ex-partners. Becky, the reason you're feeling bitter, angry, and disgusted is because of the continuous thoughts you're having about your ex. Sometimes we have thoughts that are kind of hidden in parentheses that are the real cause of our negative feelings. One thought you offered was, they're out living their happy ever after. And I would suggest that your thought in parentheses might be, and I'm the one that's been left behind, or it's completely not fair, or what about my happy ever after? When you believe that this is true and you continue to focus on his life and how perfect it must be and how unfair it all is, that he should get to be happy and you're left behind, it makes total sense that you would be feeling bitterness toward your ex and his girlfriend. So the first step is recognizing that it all makes sense what is happening in your brain and in your body. The next step is to redirect your focus and consciously choose where you want to focus instead. All of your focus right now is on him and how great his life must be. And notice that you're completely discounting your life. What's great about your life now? Write out a list of 10 to 15 things. And by redirecting the focus from him to you, and really making your brain look for evidence that your life is great right now, you will begin to step away from the bitterness you have for your ex because he won't be taking up as much brain space because you will be focusing on you rather than on him. And lastly, I want to add that sometimes when I'm having a strong emotional reaction to something and I really can't get to a place of refocus or get to a conscious thought that feels good, what I'll do is instead I'll own where I'm at without judgment. I'll say something like, yep, I'm feeling bitter because of the story I have about my ex, and this is where I'm at right now. Sometimes just owning where you're at without judgment is going to help diffuse that strong emotional response that you're having. Thanks so much for your question, Becky. I'll talk to you next week.
That's your Friday Flip. Stay tuned for the weekly podcast episode that comes out every Monday. And remember, if you want more one-on-one help from me as your divorce coach to help you create an even better life than when you were married, then you need to schedule your free consult with me by going to www.karennelsoncoaching.com. Remember, that's Karen with an I.